Rewire Your Thoughts and Brain, written and published by Audiobook Lover, is your gateway to discovering the extraordinary power you already hold within yourself. Within the pages of this book, you'll learn how to transform your life by reshaping your thoughts, rewiring your brain, and breaking free from the patterns that no longer serve you. You might not realize it, but your mind is a powerful tool. The thoughts you have, the beliefs you hold, and the stories you tell yourself are shaping the reality you experience every day. The good news is that your brain is capable of incredible change, thanks to something called neuroplasticity. This means that no matter your past, no matter your current circumstances, you can reprogram your brain to create new, empowering pathways that will help you achieve the life you desire. Throughout this book, we'll dive into the science behind how your thoughts influence your brain and ultimately your reality. But this isn't just about theory. You'll find practical, actionable steps to help you make lasting changes, starting today. By the end of this journey, you'll have the tools to consciously shape your thoughts, shift your mindset, and create the life you've always dreamed of. This is your time to take control of your life, to rewrite the story you've been living, and to unlock your true potential. It all starts with rewiring your brain, and this book will guide you every step of the way. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Your Thoughts. Do you ever pause to consider the sheer power that lies within your thoughts? You may have heard the expression, "You become what you think," but what does it truly mean to embody this idea in a way that transforms your life? It's not just a catchy phrase, it's a profound truth that, when fully understood, can change the course of your reality. The thoughts you entertain daily are far from being neutral or inconsequential. In fact, they are the building blocks of everything in your life. Your thoughts influence your emotions, your actions, and the very way you perceive the world around you. They shape your identity, define your habits, and ultimately steer the course of your destiny. The incredible thing is, you have the ability to control and direct these thoughts, thus shaping your brain and your life. Let me tell you something powerful. You are not the sum of your circumstances. You are the sum of your thoughts. The thoughts you choose today will dictate the experiences you encounter tomorrow. This is not just a spiritual concept or a motivational statement. It is grounded in the science of neuroplasticity and quantum physics, which show us that we can literally rewire our brains and create new realities by changing the way we think. Now you might be wondering, how is that possible? How do I begin this transformation? Let's explore this fascinating journey together so you can start taking control of your mind and in turn your life. To understand how your thoughts shape your reality, we need to take a deeper dive into the workings of your brain. Imagine your brain as a vast network of pathways, much like a complex highway system. Every thought you think sends signals through this network, activating specific neural connections. The more you think a certain thought, the stronger that pathway becomes, making it easier for you to return to that thought in the future. This is the very essence of how habits are formed. The repetition of thoughts leads to the formation of neural pathways, and these pathways influence your behavior. But what happens when your thoughts are negative, limiting, or fear-based? Over time, these patterns become so ingrained that they become automatic, and you may find yourself living a life that feels like it's on autopilot. You may find yourself thinking, "I can't change," or "I'll never be good enough," without even realizing that these are simply old, well-worn neural pathways that no longer serve you. The key is to recognize that these patterns are not set in stone. Your brain is not a static, unchangeable organ. In fact, it is incredibly malleable. This phenomenon is known as neuroplasticity, which refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. In other words, just as you created the old pathways, you can create new ones that support healthier, more empowering ways of thinking. This gives you the power to rewire your brain, change your thought patterns, and ultimately change your life. So, let's get practical. How can you begin this rewiring process? The first step is awareness. The key to transforming your thoughts lies in recognizing what you are thinking. Most of us are so immersed in the busyness of daily life that we don't stop to observe our thoughts. But this is where transformation begins. By bringing awareness to your thoughts, you give yourself the power to choose differently. Start by noticing the habitual thoughts that arise in your mind. Are they supportive or self-limiting? Do they focus on what you want to achieve, or do they remind you of past failures? Once you identify these thought patterns, you are halfway there. It's only when you become aware of your thoughts that you can begin to change them. Next, challenge these limiting thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Does it serve me? How does this thought make me feel? Often we hold on to beliefs that were formed years ago, beliefs that were shaped by experiences, society, or the opinions of others. But these beliefs may no longer be relevant or helpful. You have the power to question them and replace them with thoughts that align with the life you want to create. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough to succeed," replace it with, "I am worthy of success and I am capable of achieving my goals." The more you practice this shift in thought, the more you will reinforce the new neural pathways that support your new beliefs. Over time, these empowering thoughts will become the default. This is where meditation can be a powerful tool. Meditation allows you to quiet the mind, become more aware of your thoughts, and reprogram them from a place of stillness. When you meditate, you create space between your thoughts, and in that space, you have the opportunity to choose which thoughts to entertain and which to release. Meditation also activates the brain's ability to change by promoting the growth of new neural connections, further supporting your transformation. But let's take it even further. How do we connect this process to the quantum field? Quantum physics teaches us that everything is energy, and this includes our thoughts. Thoughts are not just abstract ideas, they are energetic frequencies that influence the world around us. When you focus on a thought, you are essentially sending out a signal into the quantum field, which responds by bringing back experiences that match that energy. This means that your thoughts are not only shaping your brain, but they are also shaping your external reality. Every time you think a thought, you are sending a frequency into the universe, and that frequency attracts situations, people, and opportunities that resonate with it. This is why maintaining a positive, empowered mindset is so crucial. The more you align your thoughts with what you want to create in your life, the more the universe aligns with you. To tap into the quantum field, start practicing intentionality with your thoughts. Imagine your desired reality as if it's already happening. See yourself living the life you want, feeling the emotions of success, love, and abundance. This practice sends out a signal to the universe and aligns your brain with the frequency of your desired outcome. As you begin to master the art of thought, awareness, intentionality, and meditation, you'll notice shifts not only in your inner world, but also in your external reality. You'll start to notice new opportunities, new people, and new circumstances aligning with the energy you are putting out into the world. This is the magic of rewiring your brain. When you change your thoughts, you change your life. In this process of transformation, discipline is key. It's easy to get excited about a new mindset, but the real change comes from daily practice. It's about creating new habits, thought habits, emotional habits, and behavioral habits that support your desired reality. This takes consistency and resilience, but remember, every thought you think is like a drop of water carving a path through rock. With enough repetition, that path will form, and the change will be permanent. You are not bound by your past, and you are not defined by the limiting beliefs you've carried. You are the creator of your thoughts, and your thoughts are the creators of your reality. By taking control of your mind, you can rewire your brain for success, happiness, and fulfillment. As you continue this journey of transformation, remember that you are not alone. Each step you take toward rewiring your brain is a step toward the life you've always dreamed of. Embrace the process, trust in your ability to create change, and most importantly, believe in the extraordinary power of your thoughts. Your mind is a powerful tool. Use it wisely and watch as it transforms your brain, your life, and your reality. Chapter 2. The Science of Neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to change. Have you ever considered that the way you think, feel, and act today doesn't have to be the way you'll think, feel, and act tomorrow? In fact, one of the most exciting discoveries of modern neuroscience is that the brain isn't static, it's flexible, malleable, and can change at any point in your life. This concept is called neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most empowering insights you can embrace. Think about it. For much of history, people believed that once the brain was fully developed, it couldn't change. We were led to believe that our cognitive abilities, our behaviors, and even our personalities were set in stone after a certain age. But the truth is, our brains are capable of reorganizing themselves, rewiring their neural pathways, and forming new connections. That means, no matter where you are in life, you have the ability to change your thinking patterns, your habits, and your brain's wiring to create a new reality for yourself. The science behind neuroplasticity is fascinating. Your brain is made up of neurons, which are specialized cells that communicate with each other by transmitting electrical and chemical signals. When you think a thought, these neurons communicate, creating a pathway of connection in your brain. The more you think a certain thought, the stronger that pathway becomes. This is why habits, whether good or bad, are formed. Neural pathways become like well-trodden paths in a forest, and the more you walk down them, the easier they are to follow. But here's the real magic. These pathways are not permanent. They are not fixed roads in your brain. They are more like dirt trails that can be reshaped, expanded, or even erased. This is what neuroplasticity allows for, the brain's ability to reorganize itself and form new pathways. When you introduce a new behavior or a new thought, your brain begins to form new neural connections to support it. These new pathways can over time become just as strong as the old ones. So, if you've spent years thinking negatively, feeling stuck, or repeating the same patterns, the good news is that it's possible to shift those patterns and create new empowering ones. Imagine for a moment that your brain is a garden and your thoughts are the seeds you plant. Each thought you think is like a seed that either grows into a plant that serves you or one that hinders your growth. If you've been planting seeds of doubt, fear, or limitation, your garden may be filled with weeds. But what if you could start planting seeds of possibility, courage, and confidence? Over time, those seeds will take root, and the weeds will begin to wither. That's the power of neuroplasticity at work. Now let's bring this idea into the realm of personal transformation. You might be asking, how do I start rewiring my brain? How do I begin the process of shifting my thought patterns? The answer lies in the simple yet profound practice of creating new habits and consciously choosing the thoughts you want to cultivate. The first step is to recognize the existing neural pathways that are no longer serving you. Do you have a tendency to react in fear when faced with challenges? Do you often find yourself thinking negatively about your potential or your worth? These patterns are the pathways you've built over time, and while they may have been helpful at one point in your life, they no longer serve you in the way they once did. Recognizing these pathways is the first step toward rewiring your brain. The next step is to introduce new thoughts and behaviors that will create alternative pathways. This requires intention and consistency. Think about the thought patterns you want to replace and imagine the new, empowering thoughts you'd like to cultivate instead. Every time you notice yourself slipping into old patterns of thinking, gently redirect your mind toward the new thoughts. This could be as simple as replacing, "I can't do this" with, "I am capable of more than I realize." The more you practice redirecting your thoughts, the more these new neural pathways will strengthen. Neuroplasticity is about consistency. It's about repetition and intentional focus. The more you choose to think in ways that support your growth, the more you'll begin to rewire your brain. It's like working out a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger the muscle becomes. In this case, the muscle is your ability to think positively, take action, and overcome challenges with resilience. But let's talk about something else that plays a huge role in the process of rewiring your brain: emotions. We often think of the mind and body as separate entities, but they are deeply connected. Your thoughts create emotions, and your emotions in turn influence your brain's wiring. This is why emotions can be such a powerful tool in transforming your brain. When you think positive thoughts, you generate positive emotions, which reinforce the neural pathways that support those thoughts. Conversely, negative emotions can reinforce negative neural pathways, making it harder to break free from old patterns. This is where the role of meditation and mindfulness comes into play. Meditation allows you to quiet the mind, become aware of your thoughts, and create a space between stimulus and reaction. It helps you develop the ability to choose your thoughts more intentionally. When you meditate, you are not only calming your mind and body, but also encouraging neuroplasticity by focusing on positive thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Meditation gives you the mental clarity and emotional stability to break free from automatic, habitual thinking. One of the most exciting aspects of neuroplasticity is that it isn't just about changing your thoughts, it's about changing the very way your brain operates. Studies have shown that activities like mindfulness, meditation, and even learning new skills can physically change the structure of the brain. For example, regular meditation has been shown to increase the size of the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for learning and memory. It also helps decrease the size of the amygdala, which is responsible for stress and fear responses. So, when you practice meditation and other neuroplasticity-promoting activities, you are not only changing your thoughts, but also reshaping the structure of your brain in ways that enhance your overall well-being. The beautiful thing about neuroplasticity is that it's never too late to start. Whether you're in your 20s or your 70s, your brain is capable of growth and transformation. This means that you have the ability to change your life at any point in time, no matter your age or circumstances. It's never too late to begin rewiring your brain for greater happiness, success, and fulfillment. But transformation requires effort. It requires you to commit to the process, to show up every day with intention, and to practice the habits that will lead to the rewiring of your brain. It's not about overnight results. It's about small, consistent changes that over time lead to profound transformation. Remember, your brain is not stuck in its current state. It is capable of growth, adaptation, and transformation. The power to change your brain and your life lies within you. By taking conscious control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you can rewire your brain and create the life you've always desired. Chapter 3: Quantum Physics and the Power of Consciousness. You've probably heard the term quantum physics tossed around in conversations about the nature of reality and personal transformation, but what does it actually mean? How does it relate to your life, your thoughts, and the very fabric of your reality? Let's take a step into the fascinating world of quantum physics and explore how this groundbreaking science can empower you to change your life in ways you might not have imagined. At its core, quantum physics is the study of the smallest particles that make up our universe, particles that are so tiny they defy many of the rules we typically associate with the physical world. Quantum particles can exist in multiple states at once, and they are influenced by the act of observation. Yes, you read that right. Simply observing a quantum particle can change its state. This fundamental discovery challenges everything we've been taught about how reality works. One of the most profound aspects of quantum physics is the idea that the universe is not as fixed as we might think. In the classical view, things were seen as solid and predictable. You could measure them, count them, and assume that they behaved in a very linear, predictable way. But quantum physics has revealed that at the subatomic level, things are much more fluid and interconnected. Particles don't follow a set path. They can exist in many different places at once, and their behavior changes when we observe them. This idea is closely tied to the concept of consciousness, the awareness that we have of ourselves and the world around us. It turns out that consciousness is not a passive observer of reality. Instead, it plays an active role in shaping the world we experience. In other words, your thoughts and intentions have a direct impact on the way your reality unfolds. Quantum physics has shown us that the very act of observing the world and focusing our attention on certain outcomes can influence the behavior of particles and, by extension, the events that unfold in our lives. But let's take a moment to break this down in more relatable terms. Imagine that you're standing in front of a mirror. You look into the mirror and see your reflection staring back at you. In a way, the reflection is the result of light particles bouncing off your face and hitting the mirror, which then reflects that light to your eyes. But what if I told you that the reflection is not the only thing that exists in the mirror? In the quantum world, it's like your reflection exists in multiple potential states, not just one. And when you look into the mirror, your consciousness collapses those possibilities into one concrete experience. The reflection you see is influenced by your perception, your attention, and your awareness. This is a fascinating idea, but what does it mean for you personally? It means that your thoughts, your intentions, and your focus are not just abstract ideas. They are powerful forces that interact with the world around you. Just as the act of observing a quantum particle can change its behavior, the act of focusing your attention and energy on a certain goal or outcome can influence the events and circumstances that arise in your life. One way to understand this concept is through the lens of the observer effect in quantum physics. The observer effect states that the state of a quantum system is directly influenced by the act of observation. In simple terms, what you choose to focus on shapes the reality you experience. The world is not a passive, unchanging backdrop that you merely react to. Instead, your consciousness interacts with the world in a dynamic and creative way. The more focused you become on a particular outcome or vision, the more you begin to align yourself with that outcome, almost as if the universe is responding to your intentions. Now, you might be wondering, if my thoughts have this much power, how can I harness that power to create the life I want? The answer lies in the practice of intention. Intention is the focused direction of your mind, the energy you send out into the world with a specific goal or outcome in mind. It's the conscious decision to direct your attention toward a certain vision and to align your thoughts, emotions and actions with that vision. But intention alone isn't enough. To truly harness the power of your consciousness and the principles of quantum physics, you need to combine intention with elevated emotions. It's not just about thinking positively, it's about feeling the emotion of already having what you desire. When you bring your thoughts and emotions into alignment with your desires, you create a powerful force that radiates out into the world. Your energy sends a signal to the quantum field, and as you vibrate at a higher frequency, you begin to attract experiences, people, and opportunities that match that frequency. This is where the true magic of personal transformation lies. The more you train your mind to focus on your desired outcomes, and the more you feel the emotions of already having those outcomes, the more you shift your energy and align your consciousness with the life you want to create. It's not about forcing things to happen or trying to control the universe. It's about tapping into the natural flow of energy and learning to work with it rather than against it. One of the most profound teachings in the world of quantum physics is the idea that everything is energy. At the deepest level, everything in our universe, matter, light, sound, thoughts and emotions, is made of energy. This means that your thoughts and feelings are just as much a part of the energetic fabric of the universe as the objects you see around you. When you change the frequency of your thoughts and emotions, you begin to shift the very energy that makes up your reality. But what does this mean in practical terms? It means that the universe is constantly responding to the energy you put out. If you want to change your life, you have to begin by changing your energy. You can do this by shifting your thoughts and emotions to align with your desires. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. Instead of worrying about lack, focus on abundance. Instead of fear, focus on courage. The more you shift your energy in this way, the more you align yourself with the quantum field and begin to attract the experiences that match your new vibration. This process requires practice, consistency, and patience. The universe doesn't always deliver instant results, but that doesn't mean it's not responding to your intentions. The key is to stay focused on your desired outcome and to keep your energy aligned with that outcome, even when things don't immediately appear to be changing. Over time, your thoughts, emotions, and actions will begin to harmonize with your desires, and you'll start to notice the changes you've been hoping for. In many ways, quantum physics teaches us a profound truth. You are not a passive observer of your life. You are an active participant in the creation of your reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every decision you make sends a signal to the universe, shaping the world around you. Your consciousness is not separate from the world, it is deeply interconnected with it. By learning to direct your thoughts and energy with intention, you can transform your reality and manifest the life you truly desire. As you begin to grasp the principles of quantum physics and how they apply to your own life, remember this: the power to change your reality lies within you. You are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You are the creator of your own experience. By mastering the art of consciousness, intention, and energy, you can harness the limitless potential of the quantum field and create a life of abundance, fulfillment, and success. Your thoughts and emotions are not just passive reflections of the world, they are powerful forces that shape the very fabric of your reality. Chapter 4. Releasing Old Emotional Patterns. We all have emotional baggage, don't we? Whether it's the weight of past mistakes, old wounds, or deep-seated fears that seem to follow us around, it can feel like our emotions have a mind of their own. You might be carrying these feelings around without even realizing it, and it's only when they bubble up to the surface that you realize how much they're holding you back. It's as if you're walking through life with an invisible anchor, pulling you back to old memories and emotional reactions that no longer serve you. But here's the thing, you don't have to carry that baggage forever. You have the power to release these old emotional patterns and finally break free from the past. Let me start by telling you that your emotions are incredibly powerful. They influence how you think, how you act, and even how your body feels. Everything you experience in life is filtered through your emotional state. When you hold on to negative emotions like anger, sadness, or fear, they shape your reality. They create neural pathways in your brain, forming habits of thinking and behaving that can become automatic over time. The problem is, these emotional patterns often don't come from who you are today. They come from past experiences, sometimes from events that happened years ago. But just because these patterns are old doesn't mean they're any less powerful. They can influence your thoughts and actions in ways you may not even be aware of. So, how do you begin to release these emotional patterns? The first step is recognizing them. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Take a moment to think about the emotions that seem to crop up time and time again. Are there specific situations that always trigger anger, frustration, or fear in you? Maybe there's a certain person or circumstance that consistently brings up old emotions. Recognizing these triggers is an important part of the process because it's only when you see them for what they are that you can start to break free from them. Think about it this way, emotions are like old records on a turntable. You might have been playing the same song over and over for years. When something triggers that emotion, the record starts playing again, without you consciously choosing to hear it. But what if you could take the needle off that record and replace it with something new? What if you could create a new emotional pattern, one that reflects who you are today and where you want to go, instead of who you were back then? The second step in releasing these emotional patterns is about feeling your emotions, not avoiding them. I know it can be uncomfortable. No one likes to feel pain, sadness, or anger. But here's the thing, avoiding those emotions doesn't make them go away. In fact, it can make them worse. When we suppress our emotions, they get stuck in our bodies, and they continue to influence our thoughts and behaviors in ways we don't even realize. The more we avoid our emotions, the more power we give them. Instead, the key is to face them head-on. That doesn't mean you have to dwell in them forever, but you do need to acknowledge them and allow yourself to feel them fully. When you do this, you create space for those emotions to dissipate. It's like allowing the storm to pass rather than trying to control it. This is where mindfulness and presence come in. Take a moment when you feel triggered by an old emotion. Rather than reacting immediately, take a deep breath and check in with your body. Where are you feeling the emotion? Is it tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat, or a pit in your stomach? Just noticing where the emotion resides in your body can help you begin to release it. Next, focus on your breath. Breathe deeply, slowly, and consciously. This simple act of breathing can help you regulate your nervous system and create a sense of calm. It's like hitting the reset button for your body and mind. As you breathe, allow yourself to process the emotion. Don't rush it, Just be with it for a moment. Feel it, acknowledge it, and let it move through you. When you take the time to feel your emotions fully, you begin to release the grip they have on you. This process isn't always easy. It can take time, and it's okay if it doesn't happen overnight. But every time you allow yourself to feel and release an old emotional pattern, you are rewiring your brain. You are breaking free from the neural pathways that have kept you stuck and creating new ones. It's a process of healing, and it's a powerful step in your personal transformation. Another important step in releasing old emotional patterns is shifting your beliefs about those emotions. Often, we carry old emotions because we have a deep-rooted belief that they are a part of who we are. We may believe that we are just an angry person, or that we will always be sad because of past experiences. But beliefs are not facts. They're simply thoughts we've repeated so many times that they've become ingrained in our minds. And just like any other thought, beliefs can be changed. To release these old emotional patterns, it's essential to challenge the beliefs that hold them in place. Ask yourself, is this belief still serving me? Is it true? More often than not, the answer will be no. Just because you felt anger or sadness in the past doesn't mean that emotion defines who you are today. You are constantly evolving, and the emotions you felt back then don't have to control you now. Try to replace those old beliefs with new, empowering ones. If you've always believed you were an angry person, try replacing that belief with something like, I am a calm and patient person, and I am in control of my emotions. The more you repeat these new beliefs, the more your brain will start to adopt them as truth. Over time, these new beliefs will begin to form new emotional patterns, ones that support the life you want to create. And let's not forget about the power of forgiveness. This is often the most difficult part of releasing old emotional patterns, especially if they involve someone who has hurt you in the past. But forgiveness is not about excusing the other person's actions. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional hold that those past events have on you. Holding on to resentment, anger, or bitterness only keeps you trapped in the past. Forgiving doesn't mean you forget what happened or that you condone the behavior. It simply means you are letting go of the emotional weight that is holding you back. Forgiveness is one of the most liberating actions you can take. It allows you to release the past and move forward with your life. When you forgive, you no longer give that person or situation the power to affect your present or future. You take back control. Finally, releasing old emotional patterns requires consistent practice. You can't expect to change overnight. Just like rewiring your brain for success or creating new habits, releasing old emotions takes time. But the more you commit to this process, the more powerful the results will be. Every time you choose to release an old emotion, you're creating space for new emotions to enter. You're opening up to a future where you're no longer weighed down by the past. So, if you're ready to break free from the emotional patterns that have been holding you back, start by acknowledging the emotions you've been carrying. Feel them fully, challenge the beliefs that support them, forgive where necessary, and replace them with new, empowering patterns. With practice, you'll rewire your emotional responses and begin to experience life in a completely new way. You'll realize that the past no longer has control over you, and the future is yours to create. Chapter 5. Meditation. Rewiring your brain from the inside out. Imagine you're sitting in a quiet space, free from distractions, and you close your eyes. In that moment, you feel the weight of the world lift off your shoulders. Your mind may still be busy with 1,000 thoughts, but you take a deep breath, and allow yourself to sink deeper into the present moment. This is the power of meditation, and it's one of the most profound tools you can use to transform your brain and your life. Meditation isn't just about finding peace in the chaos of life. It's about rewiring your brain, changing the way you think, and creating new pathways that lead to a healthier, more balanced life. The science behind meditation is incredibly powerful. It's been shown to reduce stress, improve emotional regulation, increase focus, and even promote physical healing. But beyond the physical and emotional benefits, meditation has the ability to transform the very structure of your brain. You see, your brain is highly adaptable. It can change and evolve over time, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. When you meditate regularly, you're strengthening and reshaping your brain in a way that supports your growth and transformation. Meditation helps you break free from the old patterns that have been ingrained in your brain, patterns that no longer serve you, and creates new neural connections that align with the person you want to become. When we talk about rewiring the brain, we're not just talking about thoughts, but also the emotions and behaviors that stem from those thoughts. It's easy to fall into patterns of automatic thinking, especially when we've been living with certain beliefs or experiences for a long time. These patterns can feel like a script you've been following your whole life, your default mode. But here's the truth: you are not bound by those scripts. You have the power to rewrite them, and meditation is the key. Through regular meditation, you can start to quiet the noise in your mind. In this space of stillness, you can observe your thoughts from a place of non-judgment. Instead of identifying with every thought that comes and goes, you begin to recognize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. It allows you to detach from the constant stream of thoughts that often run on autopilot and take control over what you choose to focus on. This is where the magic happens. When you meditate, you're training your brain to focus and concentrate. This improves your ability to direct your attention and intention, which is crucial when it comes to rewiring your brain. In meditation, you might notice thoughts popping up, fears, doubts, memories from the past. But instead of engaging with them, you let them pass by, much like clouds drifting across the sky. Over time, your brain becomes more adept at letting go of these distractions. And with practice, this ability to stay present in the moment becomes a new default. One of the most exciting aspects of meditation is how it helps to change your emotional state. Many of us are driven by emotions that are tied to past experiences, emotions like anger, fear, or sadness. These emotional patterns can hijack your thoughts and behaviors, preventing you from moving forward. But when you meditate, you create a space where you can observe these emotions without reacting to them. You begin to cultivate an emotional detachment, a sense of peace that is independent of external circumstances. Think of it like this: when you're in the midst of a storm, it can be hard to see clearly. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and everything feels chaotic. But if you step back and take yourself out of the storm, you can see it for what it is. Meditation allows you to step back from your emotions, creating that space where you can view them with clarity and compassion. This shift allows you to process emotions in a healthy way, rather than being consumed by them. The longer you meditate, the more your brain begins to reorganize itself. Studies have shown that consistent meditation can increase the thickness of the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for higher thinking, decision-making, and emotional regulation. At the same time, it reduces the size of the amygdala, the part of the brain associated with fear and stress. So, with every meditation session, you're essentially training your brain to become more resilient and balanced, less prone to emotional reactivity. But meditation isn't just about quieting the mind, it's also about creating new, positive patterns of thought and behavior. As you meditate, you're not only releasing old emotional patterns, you're also actively rewiring your brain to adopt new, empowering beliefs. This is the power of intention. Before you meditate, set a clear intention for what you want to focus on. Maybe it's letting go of fear, cultivating self-love, or creating a sense of inner peace. When you meditate with intention, you are directing your brain to focus on those positive qualities, helping them to become a stronger part of your reality. Visualization is another powerful tool that can be combined with meditation. As you enter a deep state of relaxation, visualize the person you want to become. See yourself embodying the qualities you desire, whether that's confidence, health, success, or happiness. Picture your brain forming new neural connections that support these qualities, and feel the emotions associated with them. The more vividly you can imagine yourself living this new reality, the more your brain will begin to believe it's possible. Visualization in meditation helps to create a powerful emotional and mental connection to your desired future, reinforcing the belief that you are capable of achieving it. I know what you might be thinking, but my mind is so busy. I can't stop my thoughts from racing. And you're not alone in feeling that way. Many people struggle with a busy mind, especially when they first start meditating. It's natural to feel like you're not doing it right, but let me reassure you, there is no right or wrong way to meditate. The key is consistency. Even if your mind is busy with thoughts, simply noticing them and returning your focus to your breath is a victory. Over time, your mind will learn to quiet itself, and the benefits of meditation will compound. You may also find that meditation brings up old emotions or unresolved issues. This is part of the healing process. As you create space for stillness, your subconscious mind may release emotions that have been buried for years. These emotions may feel intense, but rather than resisting them, allow them to flow through you. By doing so, you are creating an opportunity for emotional healing, releasing the old patterns that have been holding you back. So, if you want to truly rewire your brain, meditation is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. It's not just about calming the mind, it's about transforming your brain, your emotions, and your life. Through regular meditation, you can break free from old thought patterns, create new neural pathways, and cultivate a sense of peace and resilience that will support you in every area of your life. The power to change is within you, and meditation can help you unlock that power. Chapter 6. The role of energy in transformation. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are constantly firing and wiring the very essence of who you are. Now, what if I told you that everything you experience, from your daily interactions to the success or challenges you face, is shaped by an invisible force? That force is energy, and it flows through every cell in your body, influencing your thoughts and actions in ways you may never have realized. The energy we carry isn't some abstract concept, it's a very real, scientifically proven force. You can think of it as the vibrational frequency at which you operate. Just like a radio transmitter sending out signals, the energy you emit can be measured, and it directly impacts the reality you experience. This is not just about mystical thinking or New Age philosophies, it's rooted in science. You see, our bodies are energy fields. We are constantly interacting with the energy around us, and that energy can either uplift or drain us, depending on how we choose to engage with it. To understand the role of energy in transformation, let's first take a step back and look at the fundamental building blocks of the universe. At the microscopic level, everything is made up of atoms. These atoms are constantly vibrating. In fact, everything around you is made up of energy. Even objects that appear solid, like your phone or the chair you're sitting in, are vibrating at different frequencies. These vibrations create the world you experience. Now, think about the energy within you. Your thoughts and emotions are powerful forms of energy, and they can either elevate or lower your vibrational frequency. When you are in a state of stress, fear, or anxiety, your energy vibrates at a lower frequency. This lower vibration can create a cascade effect in your body, triggering the release of stress hormones like cortisol. These chemicals can wreak havoc on your physical and mental health, affecting everything from your immune system to your mood. But here's the good news. You have the power to change your energy. Just as you can tune a radio to a different frequency, you can shift your own vibrational frequency through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. This is where the practice of mindfulness and meditation comes in. When you meditate, you're essentially resetting your internal frequency, recalibrating your body and mind to a higher state of being. In the world of quantum physics, this concept is known as the observer effect. When you focus your attention on something, whether it's a thought, a feeling, or even a situation in your life, you influence the energy surrounding it. Your focus and intention create ripples in the quantum field, shifting the energy and potentially altering the outcome. This is a powerful idea because it means you can influence your reality by shifting your internal state of being. One of the most transformative ways to change your energy is to become more aware of your emotional state. Your emotions are a direct reflection of the energy you're putting out into the world. If you're constantly feeling negative emotions like fear, anger, or frustration, you're vibrating at a lower frequency. But when you shift your emotional state to one of gratitude, love, or joy, your energy frequency rises. And this higher energy has the power to attract more of the same into your life. Think about a time when you felt genuinely happy or excited. Notice how everything seemed to fall into place. Things just flowed. The universe seemed to open up, and doors you never expected to open began to swing wide. That's the power of high vibration energy in action. When you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you become a magnet for positive experiences, opportunities, and people. It's as if the universe is conspiring in your favor. But shifting your energy isn't always easy, especially when you've spent years operating at a certain vibrational frequency. It takes practice, discipline, and consistency. This is where the power of intention comes into play. Every day you can choose how you want to show up in the world. You can choose to be in a state of gratitude, love, and abundance, or you can allow stress, fear, and negativity to control your energy. The process of raising your energy begins with awareness. Take a moment each day to check in with how you're feeling. Are you tense? Are you anxious? Are you feeling depleted? Or are you grounded, calm, and filled with a sense of peace? Your emotions are signals from your body telling you what kind of energy you're carrying. When you notice that your energy feels low, it's time to reset and shift your focus. One powerful technique for raising your vibrational frequency is through breathing exercises. Deep, conscious breathing can quickly shift your energy, calming your nervous system and bringing you back into balance. When you inhale deeply and slowly, you send a message to your body that it's time to relax and release tension. This simple practice can have an immediate effect on your energy. Another method to raise your energy is through the practice of gratitude. The act of focusing on what you're grateful for shifts your mind away from scarcity and negativity, opening up space for more positive energy to flow into your life. Gratitude has been scientifically proven to increase levels of dopamine and serotonin in the brain, chemicals that are responsible for feelings of happiness and well-being. So when you practice gratitude, you're not just improving your emotional state, you're literally rewiring your brain to feel better. But energy doesn't only flow from within, it's also deeply connected to the people and environments around you. Think about the last time you were in a room full of people. You could probably sense whether the energy was positive or negative, right? Maybe you walked into a room where everyone was laughing and smiling, and you immediately felt lighter, happier. On the other hand, you've probably also been in situations where the energy felt heavy, tense, or uncomfortable. This is because energy is contagious. When you're around people who are vibrating at a high frequency, it's easier for you to match that vibration. This is why the people you spend time with can have such a profound impact on your energy. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift and inspire you. Stay away from environments and relationships that drain you. The energy you expose yourself to matters. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, whether it's from people or media, your vibrational frequency will naturally lower. But when you choose to be around positive, supportive, and loving people, your own energy will rise in response. As you begin to raise your energy and shift your vibration, you'll notice a difference in the opportunities that come your way. This doesn't mean that challenges won't arise, but when you operate at a higher frequency, you become more resilient. Your ability to handle stress and adversity improves. You start to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to be feared. By learning to harness the power of energy, you begin to tap into a force that shapes your reality in ways you never imagined possible. You have the ability to control your thoughts, your emotions, and the energy you put out into the world. And as you do, you'll start to see that the world around you begins to reflect the energy you're putting out. When you vibrate at a higher frequency, you create a ripple effect that attracts positive change, abundance, and love into your life. This journey of transformation is not a quick fix. It's an ongoing practice of shifting your energy, becoming more aware of your emotions, and consciously choosing the vibration you want to embody. But as you continue to raise your energy and align it with your highest vision, you will experience profound changes, both internally and externally. The power to transform your life is in your hands, and it begins with the energy you choose to cultivate every single day. Chapter 7. Breaking the habit of being yourself. The power of new choices. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, repeating the same thoughts, behaviors, and even mistakes over and over again? It's almost like you're on autopilot, unable to break free from a routine that no longer serves you. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. Many people find themselves in this exact situation, feeling trapped by old habits, outdated ways of thinking, and automatic responses that seem impossible to shake. But here's the truth: you have the power to change. You can break free from the cycle, and you can create new, empowering habits that align with the life you want to live. The key to breaking this cycle lies in understanding how habits form in the first place. Our brains are wired to seek comfort and familiarity. This means that once we develop a certain pattern of behavior, our brains create neural pathways to make that behavior automatic. These neural pathways are like well-worn trails in the forest, where the more we walk down them, the easier and faster it becomes to travel. Over time, these habits become so ingrained that they seem like a natural part of who we are. But just because something has been a part of your life for a long time doesn't mean it has to stay that way. You can create new pathways, new habits, and even a new version of yourself. The first step in breaking the habit of being yourself is becoming aware of your current patterns. Start paying attention to your thoughts, behaviors, and emotional reactions throughout the day. Are there moments when you react to situations without thinking? Are there certain triggers that cause you to fall back into old habits? These are the moments where the loop begins. They are the signals that your brain is trying to guide you down the same old path. The more aware you become of these patterns, the more power you have to break free from them. Once you've identified the habits and patterns that no longer serve you, the next step is to consciously choose new ones. This isn't as simple as just deciding to change. It requires a deep, intentional commitment to rewiring your brain. Think of it like creating a new road through the forest. It won't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you can carve out a new path that leads to the life you want. And it all starts with the way you think. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything you do. If you want to change your behavior, you need to change the way you think. This is where the power of intention comes in. Every thought you have sends a signal to your brain, and over time those thoughts create the beliefs and attitudes that shape your actions. If you believe that you're stuck in your old ways, you'll continue to reinforce those habits. But if you begin to believe that you have the power to change, you will start to create new neural pathways that support your transformation. One powerful tool for changing your thoughts is visualization. Take a few moments each day to close your eyes and visualize the person you want to become. See yourself living the life you desire, engaging in the habits and behaviors that align with that life. Imagine how it feels to be in that version of yourself, how confident, calm, and capable you are. The more vividly you can imagine this, the more you activate the neural pathways associated with this new version of yourself. Visualization helps your brain recognize the possibility of change and sets the stage for your transformation. But visualization alone isn't enough. You need to pair it with action. In order to create lasting change, you must take concrete steps toward the person you want to become. It's not enough to just imagine it in your mind. You must start acting as though you're already that person. If you want to be healthier, start making healthier choices every day, even if they're small. If you want to be more confident, put yourself in situations that challenge you to step outside your comfort zone. The more you take action, the more you strengthen the new neural pathways you're trying to create. It's also important to recognize that change isn't always easy. Our brains are wired for efficiency, so when we try to change a habit, it can feel uncomfortable at first. This discomfort is a sign that you're doing something new and that your brain is trying to resist. But the key is to stay consistent. The more you repeat a new behavior, the more your brain will begin to associate it with ease and comfort. Over time, the new habit will become just as automatic as the old one, but this time, it will serve you in a more positive way. One of the most challenging aspects of changing your habits is overcoming the emotional resistance that comes with it. Emotional patterns are deeply tied to our habits, and when we try to change, we often face a wave of emotions, fear, doubt, anxiety, that can cause us to revert back to old ways. These emotions are natural, but they don't have to control you. The key is to acknowledge them without letting them dictate your actions. When you feel fear or doubt creeping in, remind yourself that these emotions are simply part of the process. They don't define who you are, and they certainly don't determine your future. Another important aspect of breaking the habit of being yourself is practicing self-compassion. We can be our own worst critics, especially when we slip up or revert back to old habits. But the journey to transformation is not about perfection, it's about progress. Be kind to yourself when you stumble. Recognize that each moment is an opportunity to start fresh. If you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up about it. Instead, use it as a learning experience. Ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? And move forward with a sense of grace and resilience. As you continue on your journey of transformation, you'll begin to notice subtle shifts. You'll start to recognize new patterns emerging in your thoughts, behaviors, and emotional responses. You'll feel more confident, more empowered, and more aligned with the person you want to be. But this transformation isn't just about changing habits, it's about shifting your entire identity. The person you once were is no longer the person you have to be. You are not defined by your past, and you don't have to be bound by old patterns. You have the ability to reinvent yourself, and every day is a new opportunity to do just that. The process of breaking the habit of being yourself requires patience, consistency, and commitment. But the rewards are immense. When you free yourself from the limitations of old habits, you open the door to a life filled with new possibilities. You become the person you were always meant to be, and the world around you begins to reflect that transformation. The key to breaking free from old habits is to understand that change is not only possible, it is inevitable when you decide to make it happen. And with each step you take, you move closer to the life and the version of yourself you've always dreamed of. Chapter 8: Creating Your Future Self, Visualizing Success. Have you ever imagined your future self, someone who's achieved all of their goals, someone who lives the life they've always dreamed of? The person you see in your mind is not some far-off fantasy. They exist within you already. It's not about becoming someone else, it's about stepping into the version of you that is already waiting to be realized. When you begin to create your future self in your mind, you begin the process of making that vision a reality. It's not a matter of luck or chance, it's a matter of vision, intention, and consistent action. The key to transforming your life lies in the ability to see your future clearly, to visualize the person you want to become, and then align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that vision. Most people live their lives reacting to external circumstances, waiting for change to happen to them. But the most powerful creators of their own reality are those who take the opposite approach. They envision the future they want, and then align everything they do with that vision. This is the power of visualization. Visualization is not just a feel-good exercise. It's a scientifically backed practice that helps to train your brain for success. When you visualize yourself as your future self, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. As you imagine yourself already living the life you desire, your brain starts to create neural pathways that mirror the behaviors and thoughts needed to make that life a reality. In essence, you are rewiring your brain to align with your future self, and this alignment drives you toward the actions that will bring your vision to life. To truly harness the power of visualization, you must first get clear on who you want to become. It's easy to say, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy. But what does that actually look like for you? Success means something different to everyone, so it's important to get specific about what success looks like in your life. What does your ideal day look like? Where are you living? What kind of work are you doing? What are your relationships like? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? The more detailed you can get with your vision, the better. The brain thrives on details, And when you visualize a specific version of yourself and your life, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. This message says, "This is who I am. This is what I'm creating." The more you think about this future version of yourself, the more your brain will begin to align your thoughts and actions with that vision. In fact, as you keep returning to this visualization daily, your future self will begin to feel more like your present self. Now, it's important to understand that visualization is not just about seeing the end result. It's about feeling the emotions of living that life right now. Emotions are powerful, and they act as the fuel for the actions you take. When you visualize your future self, feel the excitement, the pride and the joy of already being that person. What does it feel like to live your dream life? Does it feel liberating, empowering, fulfilled? The more vividly you can experience these emotions in your visualization, the more real they will become. And as you align your feelings with your future self, you are sending a message to your body and brain that says, "This is who I am, and this is who I'm becoming." One of the biggest obstacles to creating your future self is the tendency to live from the past. If you constantly look at your past as a reference for who you are, you'll keep recreating the same version of yourself over and over again. This is why so many people feel stuck. They are trapped in the loop of their past experiences and beliefs, unable to break free. But when you start to visualize your future self, you're stepping outside of your old patterns. You're no longer bound by what you've done before. Instead, you're choosing to create a new reality based on the vision you've set for yourself. To do this, you have to let go of the old stories you've been telling yourself. Maybe you've told yourself that you're not good enough, or that you'll never succeed. Those beliefs are not the truth of who you are. They are simply the result of past programming. To step into your future self, you must release these old narratives. You must tell a new story, one that aligns with the person you want to become. And the more you do this, the more your subconscious mind will begin to believe this new story, which will ultimately shape your actions and outcomes. Visualization also requires patience and consistency. It's easy to think that one session of visualizing your future self will instantly create change, but the process is more gradual. Like any new habit, it takes time for your brain to rewire itself. But the key is consistency. The more you practice visualizing your future self, the more you'll feel a sense of ownership over your vision. And this sense of ownership is powerful. As you begin to feel that your future is already unfolding, you'll find yourself making decisions and taking actions that align with your vision. And don't forget that action is a crucial component of this process. Visualization is the first step, but it's not the last. Once you have a clear image of your future self and you've associated powerful emotions with it, you must take deliberate action that aligns with that vision. It's not about waiting for the universe to deliver, it's about moving toward your goal with confidence and determination. The action you take, combined with the power of your thoughts and emotions, creates the momentum you need to bring your future self into existence. Your future self is not some distant ideal that you have to wait for. It's already a part of you. All it takes is a shift in your thinking, a shift in your vision, and a shift in your actions. The more you can connect with your future self now, the sooner you'll start to see the results in your life. You have the power to create the life you desire, and it begins with aligning yourself with the person you are becoming. So take a moment today to imagine who you want to be. Feel the emotions of already being that person, and then take action toward making it happen. Your future self is waiting for you. It's time to step into the life you've always dreamed of. Chapter 9. Harnessing the power of the present moment. The present moment is the gateway to the life you desire. It's where everything unfolds, and it's where you have the power to create lasting change. While it's easy to get caught up in the past or obsess over the future, the true magic happens when we ground ourselves in the now. In this moment, you have the opportunity to shape your thoughts, your actions, and your energy in ways that align with the vision you have for your life. When you embrace the present moment, you are no longer a prisoner of your past conditioning or future worries. You step into your full potential. The beauty of being in the present is that it's the only time we can truly influence. The past is gone, and the future hasn't yet arrived. The thoughts you have today are creating your tomorrow, so the key to shaping your future is found in how you choose to think, feel, and act right now. Every choice you make in the present moment has the power to rewrite your story and lay the foundation for the life you want to create. When you're in the present, you're in a state of clarity and focus. You're not bogged down by regrets or past mistakes, and you're not overwhelmed with the what-ifs and worries about what may come. Your mind is clear, your energy is focused, and you're fully aligned with what you want to achieve. This clarity opens up your capacity for creativity and decision-making, allowing you to take inspired actions that will move you closer to your goals. Living in the present moment also involves being aware of your thoughts and emotions as they arise. This awareness gives you the power to change your response to situations, people, and challenges. You're no longer reactive, controlled by unconscious patterns or old beliefs. Instead, you become the conscious observer of your thoughts, allowing you to let go of those that no longer serve you and replace them with thoughts that align with your desired future. Every moment is an opportunity to reprogram your brain, to shift the way you think, and to align yourself with your higher self. The more you practice being present, the more you activate the neural pathways that support this new way of thinking. Over time, these new pathways become stronger, making it easier to stay grounded in the present and make decisions that support your goals. This is the power of neuroplasticity at work, the ability of your brain to reorganize itself based on the thoughts and behaviors you choose to focus on. By focusing on the present, you create a life that is not bound by the limitations of the past. You start to see that your thoughts don't have to define you. You are not the sum of your past experiences. You are a creative force capable of shaping your reality through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This realization can be incredibly freeing. It means that you can choose to let go of limiting beliefs, negative thought patterns, and the emotional baggage you've been carrying. By doing so, you open up space for new beliefs, new experiences, and a new version of yourself to emerge. In the present moment, there is no room for anxiety. Anxiety is a product of worrying about what might happen in the future or regretting what has already happened. When you are fully immersed in the now, you remove the mental space for anxiety to thrive. You let go of the fear of the unknown and the doubt about your abilities. Instead, you replace those feelings with confidence, trust, and a deep knowing that everything you need is already within you. Being present also enhances your ability to experience joy and gratitude. It's easy to overlook the beauty of life when we're constantly looking to the future or holding on to the past. But when you make the conscious choice to be present, you become more aware of the small blessings around you. You notice the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds chirping, the smile of a loved one. These moments, though seemingly insignificant, have the power to fill you with gratitude and a deep sense of contentment. One of the greatest challenges we face in our fast-paced, constantly connected world is the tendency to be distracted. Our minds are pulled in many directions at once, and it becomes difficult to stay focused on the present. But practicing mindfulness is one of the most effective ways to ground yourself in the now. Mindfulness is about paying full attention to what's happening in the present, without judgment. It's about noticing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations, without getting caught up in them. To practice mindfulness, start by bringing your attention to your breath. Simply notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. Focus on the rise and fall of your chest. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. You can also practice mindfulness in daily activities like eating, walking, or even washing dishes. The key is to stay present and fully engaged with whatever you are doing in the moment. Another powerful tool for living in the present is visualization. When you visualize your desired future, it's essential to do so from a place of present moment awareness. Instead of thinking about what might happen or worrying about how it will unfold, focus on the emotions you will feel when you achieve your goals. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, the peace, and the joy as if it's happening right now. By connecting with these emotions in the present, you align your energy with the reality you want to create, sending powerful signals to your subconscious mind that you are already becoming the person who can achieve those goals. The practice of living in the present moment is not about escaping reality or ignoring the challenges you face. It's about fully embracing what is, while consciously creating what you want to experience next. It's about letting go of resistance, accepting what you cannot change, and taking empowered action to create the life you desire. When you live in the present, you acknowledge that the only time you can truly make a difference is now. Your thoughts, actions, and emotions today are shaping your tomorrow. So when you commit to living in the present moment, you are essentially committing to the future you want to create. You're taking control of your mind, your energy, and your actions in a way that ensures you're aligned with your highest potential. By staying present, you are not only rewiring your brain, but you're also creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. The future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create, moment by moment, starting now. Chapter 10. Becoming the creator of your own reality. Every moment of your life is a chance to create a new reality. The very essence of who you are and what you experience is rooted in the thoughts you choose to think, the beliefs you hold, and the actions you take. It's easy to feel like life is happening to you, but when you truly realize that you are the creator of your own reality, it changes everything. This understanding is the key to unlocking your potential and transforming your life from the inside out. You are not a passive observer, you are an active participant in the creation of your reality. The first step to becoming the creator of your reality is realizing that your thoughts are powerful. Everything you think shapes your experience. The mind is an incredible tool, but it's also something that can either work for you or against you. If you constantly think about what you don't want, you are inadvertently attracting more of it into your life. Your thoughts, whether positive or negative, create energy, and that energy manifests in your life. The key is to consciously choose thoughts that are aligned with the life you want to create. As you begin to understand the connection between your thoughts and reality, you realize that your beliefs play a major role in shaping your experiences. The beliefs you hold about yourself, the world, and what is possible for you are the filters through which you see life. If you believe that you are limited in some way, that belief will manifest in your reality. On the other hand, if you believe that you are capable of achieving great things, that belief will open up doors for you to do just that. But here's the thing, beliefs are not fixed, they can be changed. And when you change your beliefs, you change your reality. You have the power to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you can achieve. The moment you decide to let go of limiting beliefs and adopt new ones, you are taking a huge step toward becoming the creator of your reality. You start to see yourself as someone who is capable of achieving everything you desire, and that mindset shifts your actions in powerful ways. Once you begin to align your thoughts and beliefs with your desired reality, it's time to take inspired action. Creation is not just about thinking and believing, it's about doing. The universe responds to your energy, but it also responds to your actions. When you take action that is aligned with your intentions, you are telling the universe that you are serious about creating your dreams. These actions don't have to be huge or dramatic, but they should be consistent and purposeful. Every small step you take toward your goals is a confirmation that you are the creator of your reality. This is where the magic of neuroplasticity comes into play. By taking consistent action and choosing thoughts that align with your desires, you are rewiring your brain to support your new reality. The brain has the ability to form new connections and pathways, and with each action you take, you strengthen the neural connections that support the version of yourself you want to become. The more you practice these new behaviors, the more they become ingrained in your brain, and the more effortless it becomes to create the life you desire. One of the most powerful tools you can use to become the creator of your reality is visualization. When you vividly imagine yourself living the life you want, you are sending a message to your subconscious mind that this is your reality. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined, so when you visualize your desired outcome with emotion and clarity, you are programming your brain to bring that vision into your physical reality. The key is to feel the emotions of that experience as if it's happening right now. When you can evoke those emotions in the present moment, you are aligning yourself with the energy of your future self, but visualization alone is not enough. It's important to also practice gratitude in the present moment. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can tap into because it amplifies your vibration and attracts more of what you want. When you are grateful for the things you have now, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, and it helps you align with the energy of creation. The more you express gratitude, the more you invite positive experiences into your life. Another key to becoming the creator of your reality is surrender. While it's important to take inspired action and visualize your goals, it's equally important to surrender to the process and trust that the universe has a plan for you. Sometimes things may not unfold in the way you expect, but that doesn't mean you aren't on the right path. Trust that every step you take is leading you to the perfect outcome, even if it doesn't look exactly as you imagined it. When you release control and allow things to unfold naturally, you open up the space for the universe to bring you even greater opportunities than you could have planned for yourself. As you begin to step into your role as the creator of your reality, you will notice that the world around you starts to change. Opportunities will begin to appear, your relationships will shift, and you will find that you have more energy, more clarity, and more confidence. The more you embrace your power as a creator, the more your life will begin to reflect your inner transformation. It's like you're tapping into a hidden force that was always available to you, but it took your decision to step into your power for it to unfold. Creating your own reality is a lifelong journey, and it's one that requires patience, discipline, and resilience. There will be moments of doubt, challenges, and setbacks, but remember that these are all part of the process. The key is to keep going, to stay aligned with your vision, and to continue to take inspired action, no matter what. You are creating your reality with every thought, every belief, every action, and every moment of your life. The power to transform your life is within you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. So, take a moment to reflect on what you truly want to create. What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to become? Remember that you have the power to create anything you desire. It's not about waiting for the right circumstances or the perfect moment. It's about taking ownership of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions now. You are the creator of your reality, and it's time to start living the life you've always dreamed of. The possibilities are endless, and they are waiting for you to step into your full potential.